Home prices keep going up. A new report out this month shows home prices ended 2019 at an all-time high. But there's more to the story. Corey Bork sat down with a Maple Grove realtor to find out what it means for buyers.
The numbers that we're seeing are kind of a bit of a shock.
For sale signs also meant dollar signs for many sellers in 2019. In fact, the median sales price in the Twin Cities metro reached an all-time high at $280,000, a nearly 6% spike over the previous year. Prices rose across the Northwest metro from nearly 6% in Maple Grove to a 6.5% jump in New Hope. But one of the hottest markets is Brooklyn Center, which jumped nearly 8%.
So what we're seeing is that they're kind of moving a little bit further out. Some are moving into Brooklyn Center, which is a very affordable area in town, has very good housing stock.
Realtor Brandon Doyle points out there's something to help offset the rising prices.
People buy based on their payment, not based on the purchase price. And so right now we're seeing low interest rates, which is helping push the values up. Interest rates are actually down a whole percentage from last year. It's 3.5% as opposed to 4.5% last January.
Combine that with new loan options and rising rent costs, and people may find out it's more wise to buy.
Rent prices have gone up at the same rate, and so actually right now it is still more affordable to buy a home with the low interest rates.
Doyle also says it's a tale of two markets. Starter homes are going fast, but so-called move-up homes of $500,000 and above are sitting longer.
That market is actually a complete flip. There's a lot of different options available, including new construction. So a lot of the sellers of those more luxury, larger homes are having challenges.
In Maple Grove, Corey Bork, CCX News.
And business has started earlier than usual this year, too. Doyle has already had a half a dozen closings, a sign it could be a busy spring. Another destination burger joint could soon call Maple Grove home. Shake Shack wants to build a 3,500 square foot restaurant between Portillo's and Red Lobster in the Shops at Arbor Lakes. The building would not have a drive-through. They do have 3 other Minnesota locations at the Mall of America, the airport, and Southdale Mall. The Council Planning Commission approved the concept plan on Monday night. Opening a new restaurant on the outskirts of the Shops at Arbor Lakes is part of their revitalization plans. Mill Valley Kitchen in St. Louis Park will be taking over the Trailhead restaurant space at Theodore Wirth Park. Cajun Twists move out of the location in the fall, and the new Mill Valley Market hopes to be open before the Cross Country World Cup begins in March. Mill Valley Kitchen specializes in sustainable and locally sourced food for a clientele that supports an active lifestyle. Getting a child interested in any subject helps if you can get them started young. In today's School Spotlight, Delane Cleveland takes a look at the growing music program at St. Vincent de Paul Catholic School in Brooklyn Park.
All right, we're going to be talking about his music today.
Teachers have a variety of ways to get a lesson across to students. But when you're trying to teach kindergarten students about famous composers,
when you think that you hear the musical surprise, I want you to put your hand on your head.
a simple lecture won't quite do the trick.
So I'm a big believer in play in the classroom. I really think that kids, especially in kindergarten, need to move their bodies quite often. They cannot sit still for very long.
Capiche?
Allie Kraler is the music teacher at St. Vincent de Paul in Brooklyn Park. And for today's lesson,
Ooh, let's see, what are we gonna do next?
she's using movement
Oh, it says tiptoe.
to teach music history. The idea is that the kids will associate a movement with the word or sound she wants them to remember.
The craziness that was that lesson is usually what it looks like in here, but I think if they're having fun, they're probably learning something too.
Apple tree, oh apple tree.
Ultimately, the hope is that these kindergartners will fall in love with music.
I really believe in building that love early on and building that passion.
Joseph Haydn.
So far, her work is paying off. For example, the choir she directs has grown by 10 students.
I think something really cool about our choir here is we sing at our weekly masses, and I think it's a really awesome way for them to be able to give back to their community.
But choir isn't the only fine arts program experiencing growth. The same can be said about the school's band, orchestra, and musical programs, which are run in partnership with Totino Grace High School.
For the musical, we got to perform in their space, which is awesome because we don't have a theater here, so getting to perform on a real stage was just so awesome for those kids.
Kindergarten eyeballs on me.
It'll be a while before these kids are at the level where they can perform in a musical,
Do, mi, so.
but Allie is laying the foundation to help them get there. In Brooklyn Park, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
You don't have to go far to see some of the best student artists in our area. North Hennepin Community College's Joseph Gazzulio Fine Arts Gallery is showing off the best student artwork from 13 different schools in the Northwest Metro. All of the artwork was completed by high school students, and there are a variety of mediums displayed.
It's quite inspiring to see this level of talent and engagement from so many area schools, and the quality of the work, and seeing that there is kind of this thriving art culture in this area that's promoting this, and it's wonderful to see all that kind of coming together.
Runs through the 27th with a closing reception on that day. It's always free to see the artwork inside the gallery at North Hennepin Community College in Brooklyn Park. We'll leave you now with more of what you'll see.
Hopkins girls basketball star Paige Bueckers will play in the McDonald's All-American game this spring, and she was honored in a pregame ceremony earlier this week. Bueckers was selected from more than 900 nominees. She's the second Hopkins player to receive the honor, following Nia Coffey, and will be just the fifth Minnesota girl to ever play in the showcase event, and the first since 2013.
When I first got announced to be a McDonald's All-American, it was like a dream come true. I watched the game when I was younger, just like dreaming to play in that game. So to actually finally be named to be a McDonald's All-American, it means everything to me.
It makes me feel very lucky. I mean, there's only been 5 in the history of Minnesota girls basketball, and I've had 2. I mean, I just feel like very fortunate, and you know, I just wish her the best, and I think the best is yet to come for her, I really do.
The 43rd McDonald's All-American Games are April 1st in Houston. 2 of the teams chasing Hopkins in the Lake Conference are Wayzata and St. Michael-Albertville. Those 2 teams matched up for the second time in 14 days this week at Wayzata. And a good start offensively for the Trojans. Jasmine Smiley, left open on the wing, knocks down a 3-pointer. The senior scores 14 points on the night. Olivia Arnebeck has a big first half shooting the ball. Knocks down a 3-pointer, 3 of them in the first half, and the Trojans build a 10-point lead. But the Knights rally before halftime. Tessa Johnson finishes on the break, and it's a 2-point game at halftime. Knights guard Mackenzie Kramer is an outstanding 3-point shooter, and she was in a zone in this game. The senior scored 17 first-half points, 16 more in the second half, and had 9 3-pointers in the game. STMA leads by 8. But the Trojans rally on the strength of the inside scoring generated by Annika Stewart. Knights can't stop her. Stewart scores 19 of her 25 points in the second half. Wayzata beat St. Michael-Albertville the second time in the season, 74-72 the final, making the Trojans 20-3 on the season heading into their game with Hopkins. Heritage Christian Academy's girls basketball team is alone in first place in the Minnesota Classical Athletic Association. The Eagles, ranked 9th in Class A, hosted Pact Charter School in a conference game. Eagles senior guard Kirsten Robbins has the hot hand in this game. She hits a 3 for the first points of the game. And later it's Robbins in transition, takes this one all the way for a layup. And she scores 12 of her team's first 13 points. It's 13-0 Heritage. Taylor Shuck drops a pass in to Jordan Allen. She scores off the glass, and the Eagles continue to pile up the first half points. Robbins gets a steal and heads back the other way for another layup. 24 first half points for her. And right before halftime, it's Shuck receiving the pass and then a quick release on a 3-pointer that beats the buzzer. Heritage leads 41-2 at the half on the way to a 68-9 win over Pact. The Breck girls hockey team won the state Class A title the last 2 seasons. The Mustangs aim to punch their ticket to St. Paul as they faced Orono for the Section 5A title. The Mustangs come out flying and pump 17 shots on goal in the first period, but Orono goalie Anna Lizel stops everything. It's scoreless after 1. Early in the second period, the Spartans will strike as Kaylee Nickham redirects in the shot by Sydney DeCalbus, and it's 1-0. Breck answers, a nice move by Sadie Lindsay, and she scores to make it 1-1. 10 seconds later, it's Allie Qualley popping in the rebound, and it's 2-1 Mustangs. Orono ties it again, but Ashley Halverson zips a perfect pass to Olivia Mobley. She bangs the one-timer, and Breck is up 3-2. Still in the second, Sadie Lindsay comes off the wall and snaps home another goal for a 5-2 Mustangs lead. They win 6-2 for a third straight section title. We'll have highlights of the Section 5AA and 6AA finals on CCX Sports Jam Show beginning Tuesday afternoon. That's all for sports. More news after this.